Jacob Roloff addresses contradictions of living on family farm after leaving LPBdblue. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Jacob Roloff isn't too bothered by what others think about his living situation. On Sunday, March 30, Roloff addressed the so-called contradictions of living on his family's farm after leaving their reality series, Little People, Big World. Contradictions are sharpening, Roloff, 28, wrote via Instagram. This spring marks 10 years since I got my money from the show I was on for over 10 years of my life. I was 18 and finally had the agency to not sign the contract, so I didn't and promptly left home mostly due to disgust for the show and reality TV in general. He continued, I used that money to build my world back again with my wife, rather than capitalize on it for all it was worth, for better or worse. Now, I am grateful to live here at Roloff Farms as an adult with my wife and son, growing things and stewarding the land, Roloff wrote. Raising my own kiddo doing the same things I used to do on the farm. Certainly, it has been insightful these last 4 years in a lot of ways, both materially learning equipment operation, my own growing style, the systems for farming, etc., and retrospectively what is the farm without a TV crew. What can the farm be without TV? Roloff pointed to various moments in the year that are especially important to his family's farm. Pumpkin season is no doubt still huge for us, and we appreciate those loyal folks who make it out every year, he wrote. Looking forward to this upcoming season and more years to come. On that note, my dream would be that our farm can encourage a more localized community space instead of so heavily relying on out-of-town tourism. It has been fun meeting people from all over the world, but I'd also love to meet some more of our neighbors here in Oregon. He also looked ahead to the future and shared a few of his goals. What I want to do for as long as I am able is to emphasize and deepen a reform back to community-based agritourism, Roloff added, to contribute positively socially by growing edible food for the community and being an intermittent space for community gathering, creating useful things and being a useful space. Farmland is sacred now, especially in a world of nearly lost topsoil and diminishing nutrient density in our foods, he continued, and on a larger scale, with farmland all over the country being bought and developed. I am grateful for the opportunity to be where I am to steward this land the best I can. Always learning and growing. I can only hope we have this farm for another generation. Roloff left his family series Little People, Big World soon after he turned 18 in 2014. In December 2020, his wife Isabel Sophia praised her husband after he said he had been molested while filming the show. Jill Duggar felt obligated to help family amid Josh Duggar molestation scandal. Shiny happy people revelations. When Jacob and I started dating, I got a taste of what being in the public eye means, the artist, 24, wrote via Instagram in December 2024. It was eye-opening to see that when you are in the public eye, you can't just post whatever you want anymore, because whatever you put out there would usually be followed by a tabloid or a blog talking about it, she continued. Not only that, but you'd also get hundreds of comments from strangers about your life and their opinions on it. This gave me anxiety, still does, but I noticed Jacob was curiously calm about it. I remember reading a few awful comments one day, and being the sensitive being I am thinking to myself, how does he do this? So, I decided to ask him, Jacob, how does none of this bother you? TLC responded to Roloff's allegations in December last year. TLC was just informed about an alleged encounter that occurred years ago involving a third party connected to the production of Little People, Big World, TLC said in a statement. We are saddened and troubled by this very serious allegation, and TLC will work cooperatively with the authorities. Our main focus remains on supporting the Roloff family during this very difficult time. Mighty Monster Wheelies is not the type of show I thought I would approve of watching with my 3-year-old, but my daughter and I both became big fans after a few episodes. She loves the friendly, helpful vehicles, and I love the themes that encourage cooperation, altruism, and problem-solving. You can imagine how excited we both are for Season 2 of Mighty Monster Wheelies, which premieres on Netflix May 5. You can also imagine how excited I was for parents to get an exclusive first look at the new trailer. The show takes place in Motorvania, a town where all the inhabitants are cars. Shows where all characters are vehicles is, after all, a staple of the kid-friendly entertainment genre. Motorvania's heroes are a group of half-monster, half-rescue vehicles that protect their community at the behest of Mayor Van Helsing. Not from villains, but rather from emergency situations like a landslide, broken brakes, and a heat wave. They are essentially their town's first responders. Led by Bolts Frankenstein, the team consists of Raps part ambulance, part Mummy Sunny, a vampiric helicopter sweeps the street sweeping wolfman, and several more of their friends who resemble classic movie monsters. According to executive producers Stephanie Simpson and Keel White, Season 2 explores new places in Motorvania that viewers haven't seen yet. A slate of new characters will be introduced to viewers as well, including the show's take on Bigfoot, a vehicle who is blind but also an accomplished cave explorer. There's also an airplane and a monster truck, in the traditional sense. White calls teamwork one of the show's core tenets, and parents like me will be happy to know that it builds on that theme in Season 2. This batch of stories really showcases the value of persistence in the face of obstacles and being able to rely on your friends to pull you through when you run out of ideas, adds Simpson. One reason I was more than happy to add Mighty Monster Wheelies to the rotation of shows we watch in our house is that the so-called monsters on the show might be considered outsiders anywhere else, but in Motorvania are embraced and beloved by their neighbors. At the heart of the show, there is a message of kindness and acceptance that will resonate with both parents and kids. No one is ever told they have to change something about themselves or shy away from what makes them different. It's always you can do this because you are different, says White. While most kids' shows feature some kind of villain or protagonist who is behind the mishaps that the heroes must contend with, Mighty Monster Wheelies doesn't have a bad guy. Parents who are looking for new entertainment for their kids to try out might find that refreshing. Instead, the show's emphasis is on helping others in your community and using your skills, whatever they might be, to be a good citizen. The show has echoes of Mr. Rogers' famous reminder to kids to look for the helpers. In other words, to find the people who can support you through difficult times. In Motorvania, the Monster Wheelies are certainly the helpers. I appreciate a show for little kids that emphasizes the duty we all have to protect and support our communities, whether that simply looks like providing guidance to our friends in small ways or serving our city or town in a bigger way. The show promotes the idea that there are ways to help your community, no matter if you're a fire truck with super strength or a tiny scooter who's afraid of the dark, says White. Even the smallest task can have a community-wide impact, but what's important is that we all work together. I couldn't agree more, which is why my daughter and I will both be seated for the Season 2 premiere of Mighty Monster Wheelies. With 11 seasons and 22 Emmys, it's safe to say that Modern Family isn't just a TV show, it's a cultural staple. For over a decade, the ABC sitcom delivered laughs, heartfelt moments, and iconic one-liners that made it one of the most beloved series of the 21st century. Whether you're a fan of Jay's sarcasm, Gloria's fiery personality, or Cam's theatrical flair, there's no denying the charm of this tight-knit, perfectly imperfect family. From family vacations gone wrong to impromptu dance parties in the living room, Modern Family has given us countless moments we can all relate to, or at least laugh at. The Emmy award-winning series somehow managed to merge sharp wit with wholehearted sincerity, reminding us that, in the end, family is what makes life truly special, no matter how chaotic or comical things can be. Still, it's not just about the laughs. Modern Family showed viewers the beauty in diversity and the complexities of living in today's day and age. Whether you identify with Phil's goofy optimism or Mitch and Cam's roller coaster parenting journey, one thing's for sure: each character brings something unique to the table. What if I told you there's a Modern Family character that matches your zodiac sign and personality? That's right. There's a little bit of the Dumfries, Pritchett's, and Tucker Pritchett's in all of us, so whether you're a stoic earth sign with dry humor or a sassy fire sign bringing a little drama, there's more than enough room for you in the family. in honor of the 5th anniversary of the show's series finale. See which Modern Family character you are based on your zodiac sign. With great hotness comes great responsibility. Haley is fierce, spontaneous, and totally the headstrong Aries of the Dunphy household. Bold, impulsive, and audacious, much like this fire sign, Haley is always up for a challenge. She has that fiery spirit and doesn't mind going after what she wants, even if it means acting recklessly in the process. Hey, Jay, on the box, it says ages 16 and up. Is this an appropriate gift for me? Slow and steady with a natural appreciation for the finer things in life. Manny's love for luxury and good food makes him a Taurus through and through. He's also brutally frank in his approach, often catching his family members off guard. Like this earth sign, Manny is practical in his pursuits, prioritizing his comfort. Cry me a river. Sorry, should I call you a wambulance? Sharp, witty, and extra chatty for her age group, Lily resembles the essence of Mercury-ruled Gemini in more ways than one. She's quick on her feet and doesn't hesitate to share her opinions or make her presence known. With a curious nature and that twinkle of mischief in her eye, she's definitely the Gemini of the family, always cleverly shifting and inquiring. Sweetheart, I don't know about you, but that is not the way I was raised. Deed as a Cancer makes total sense. She's nurturing, emotional, and deeply connected to her family. She's got that sensitive side and can be a little unpredictable with her mood swings. But at the end of the day, she's always coming from a place of love and care, even if it's a little complicated. I know one Colombian piece you won't be playing with later. Fiery, passionate, and effortlessly glamorous, Gloria is a Leo in every sense of the word. She's the queen of the family, and her confidence and vivacious personality light up any room she enters. She thrives on attention, loves her family fiercely, and definitely has that look-at-me energy. Look at them. A minute ago they were babies, and now they're driving, and soon we'll all be dead. Claire is organized, practical, and always striving for perfection, which is very Virgoan. She's the glue that holds the family together, even if it's with a side of stress and a mile-long to-do. Claire is efficient, detail-oriented, and always ready to take care of business, which is classic Virgo. You always take this a little too far. Your nephew's first birthday. Much like this charming air sign, Mitchell is all about balance, fairness, and making sure everyone's happy. He also has a killer sense of style, which is very Venusian. Diplomatic and socially conscious, Mitchell chooses to keep the peace in his relationships, especially seeing both sides of an argument, just like Libra. And I'll take you to the top of a huge hill and just let go. Luke may seem like the goofy, carefree kid, but don't be fooled, he's got a lot of that intense mystery, which is very Scorpio. He's deeply loyal, a bit misunderstood, and when he's serious, you know he means business. He may not be the best at keeping secrets, but he's tactful and observant, perhaps even to a fault. Claire, you're a hard one to figure out. You don't trust bad boys, and yet you married one. Phil is that hysterical, fun-loving, always optimistic dad who just loves life and isn't afraid to go on wild adventures, even if they don't always go as planned. Like Sagittarius, he's got that adventurous and carefree vibe that makes him a match for this fire sign. Always seeking fun and new experiences, Phil's a free spirit at heart. I've always seen life like a series of doors. Sometimes you get to choose the door you go through. Sometimes you don't get that choice. A no-nonsense patriarch who's all about hard work, building an empire, and looking after his family. Jay's dry humor and pragmatism resemble Capricorn's Saturnian approach. He's the type to say, "I did it my way," and be proud of every step of the journey, much like the way this earth sign perseveres toward the top of the mountain. To be honest, I had to get out of there. I was exhausted from dumbing it down all day. An intellectual overachiever who more often chooses to detach from the drama completely. Alex resembles an Aquarius with her quirks and silent rebellion. She's usually thinking outside the box, striving to break the mold, which is very Uranian in nature. She also loves to push boundaries. And what Aquarian doesn't love a little bit of chaos? Wow, you did it. You made figure skating sound even gayer. Sensitive and overflowing with unconditional love. Cameron is undoubtedly the Pisces of the family. He's dreamy, creative, and occasionally over the top. but we wouldn't have it any other way. Read the original article on People. Abruptly ill. One person has died and another was injured after a